Okay, welcome to 15-Minute Theatre, the only review show that squeezes a whole production into 900 seconds. Had to think about that.
This is what happens live.
I haven't got a script. So it's Vicky's Christmas treat.
It is. I don't know what it is. Is it what I've just seen the poster for?
Message in a bottle?
It's some new dance show based on the lyrics of the music of Sting.
No, is it fuck?
What is it?
Okay, we're going to the Peacock Theatre.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you a clue.
Okay.
All right. You're going to have to wrap up.
Okay.
Second clue.
Yeah.
It's the only thing you can play on the piano.
We're going to see Snowman.
We certainly are.
Snowman. Oh, how exciting.
Open the house. Merry Christmas, Vicky.
Merry Christmas.
Wow. So it was your Christmas treat.
It was my Christmas treat.
Did you have any idea?
No. Have you done the... Oh, we did the opening bit to this already, didn't we?
Yeah, you see, I was trying to be clever and now you've ruined it.
Cut that bit out.
I can't.
Okay, fine. What did you ask me?
I can't remember. I'm looking at my dog. He's joining us for the podcast today.
He just wants a cuddle, doesn't he?
He does. He's also a big fan of Raymond Briggs.
Is he?
Yeah. Talking of which, that's the guy who wrote The Snowman.
That was a very neat segue.
So shall I give you a little bit of information about it?
Yes.
Okay, so it was adapted from the book by Raymond Briggs, The Snowman. The music and lyrics were by Howard Blake, directed by Bill Alexandra, choreography by Robert North, designer Rory Murchison. I don't know who was the performance because they didn't say that on the website, fortunately.
We did not buy a programme.
No, we did not. The venue was a Peacock Theatre and it's running until the 5th of January 2020 and it's 2 hours and 10 minutes, including the interval.
Okay, all great information.
We're talking of great information. Another segue. Could you give us a synopsis?
So, I mean, anyone who hasn't seen The Snowman...
That'll be me.
Have you never seen The Snowman?
Never.
Really?
No.
How have you lived this long and not seen The Snowman?
I was not a big fan of Channel 4.
But was it on Channel 4 when it was initially made?
Yeah, I think so.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
You don't like Channel 4?
Well, I do now.
Okay, fine. So basically, a boy makes a snowman and then overnight it magically comes to life and takes him on a wonderful adventure.
Around the living room and bathroom and
he pops in the house, does a little whiz around,
yeah,
gets a bit hot, and then they go to the North Pole.
Well, they go on a motorbike as well.
They go on a motorbike through a forest.
Yeah.
And then they go to the North Pole to meet Santa Claus.
Okay.
Or Father Christmas, as I like to call him.
So, as very often when I go to the theatre, I have very few expectations because I tend not to know very much about what we're going to see. I didn't know that this was a ballet.
Well, I do have something to tell you, James Wilden.
Go on.
I have seen it before.
You said you hadn't.
I know, but I couldn't bear to ruin the evening of the joyful surprise. It was like 5 or 6 years ago, it was a hazy memory.
Now that's interesting. Was it the same production?
Yes.
Because the costumes looked a little bit tired. I thought.
I imagine that they're probably about 20 years old.
I thought you'd seen it before.
I didn't want to say because I didn't want you to be disappointed on our
not
fun
disappointed.
night out.
I haven't seen it before.
Okay.
Was it better this time around?
Well, I was with a better person when I went to see it.
Who were you with at the last one?
I was with an old friend of mine who I no longer associate with.
Oh, okay, let's not mention that person. All right, so, well, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm deflated now.
Oh, I'm sorry, I should have kept it quiet.
Tell me about the opening. Do you think it was a strong open?
So, my main memory of the opening this time is there were two children behind us, and one of them was going, I can see a girl! I can see a girl! She's asleep! Oh no, it's a boy!
They were brilliant. I was going to bring these two up in audience antics, but...
Yeah, we'll bring them up again.
We could bring them up again. But yeah, they did give a running commentary, which was very sweet to begin with. They did get a bit tired, I think, after a while.
It's a bit tiresome, didn't it?
Wasn't very busy, which now makes sense if it's been running for like 5 years.
Well, also, I think if you bear in mind that it's mostly for kids, really, and we went during the week, So I imagine at the weekends it would probably be a lot busier.
Yeah.
And the matinees and also in the school holidays it would be busier.
It reminded me a lot of the World of Dance production numbers we used to do.
Because why is that? Because
Well, I used to work for a dance school called Southfield's World of Dance, and every 2 years we did a big show, and they had things like animal heads doing ballet and stuff like that. So it reminded me a little bit of that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the movement in the first half was fairly.
Well, it wasn't
basic.
ballet, was it? Let's be honest.
No, it was sort of choreographed movement, wasn't it?
It's very hard to move in that snowman costume, I'd imagine.
Yeah, he must have been very hot.
Or her.
But in the second half, there was a lot more ballet.
Mm-hmm.
Some animals did some ballet. Some
Yep.
snow people did some ballet. There was Jack Frost did some ballet.
Yeah.
So there was more of it.
Yeah. I think I preferred the first half, really.
Did you? I preferred the second half.
I can't remember now. I think I did say at the time I think I preferred the second half. I quite like Father Christmas.
Yeah, I liked it when they moved away from the home environment and they're in the more sort of magical world. I thought it was more fun.
No, you're right. It was good because they went into the living room first, didn't they? And then he melted himself on the fire.
Yeah.
But then they went round to every room of the house.
Yeah.
And that got a little bit tiresome at the end.
Yeah. But I do think it's incredibly cute and a really good introduction for children into dance.
But not a good introduction to children about stranger danger.
No. Oh, here's a strange snowman.
Come into my house.
I'll get on a motorbike with you. Yeah, come on, let's go.
Performances.
Well, the thing is, it definitely is aimed towards children. So they are.
But come on, so is I don't know. What have we been to see with? Well, we haven't been to see it yet, but Harry Potter. That's aimed towards children. I'm sure we'd love that.
Yeah, but maybe not so young.
Okay, so aimed towards young children.
I think it's definitely aimed towards young children. So, I mean, it's sort of very expressive and.
It's very stylised, isn't it?
Very stylised and expressive, but it's sort of. I don't want to use the word basic, but it's quite simple.
It was quite
it's quite
basic.
simple, isn't it?
Yeah, and when the set was being changed, you could hear it clunking away, couldn't you?
It's a 20-year-old set.
It did have, and I hate to say this, but a bit of an amateur feel about it, I thought.
I don't think it did in the second half, mate.
Yeah, the second half was much more polished. I now agree with you completely.
Yeah, I wonder if it's partly to do with the theatre, because the bar in the theatre is a bit like a community centre bar.
Well, it'd be interesting to know who the actors are, because they didn't even get named on the website. Performers, I should say.
I wonder whether they change them. So it's put on by Sadler's Wells,
yeah.
who are obviously incredibly famous for their amazing dance.
But they also have a school there, don't they?
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe they're all from the school.
I don't know. Well, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good fun.
What, for the second time?
Yeah. I think I'm done now.
Okay.
You alright?
Yeah, it's the peanuts.
We ain't peanuts.
What
you hadn't gathered that.
What about the plot, the story? It's quite thin, isn't it, I suppose?
But it's quite magical. It's like, if you're a child and you build a snowman, how wonderful is it that it comes to life and it takes you to these amazing places and you have all these wonderful adventures? I think it's quite magical.
And tragic.
Well, yeah, it is. There is a tragedy at the end. I don't want to spoil it. I mean, most of you probably know what happens.
I think most people will know what happens at the end of the Snowman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I thought, I think the cartoon is only about 45 minutes long, isn't it?
I don't know how long it is.
Nor do
I don't know.
I.
I'm pleased to see it had the classic Walking in the Air song in it.
Yes,
That
not
was
sung
lovely.
by Alan Jones.
It wasn't sung by Alan Jones in the film, but
No.
I don't know which version they used.
I did like that bit where they did the flying. But again, it was just very basic flying, wasn't it?
Oh, come on. I think you're judging this very harshly.
Well, I don't know. I thought it was okay. Maybe it wasn't for me.
I think it is for kids.
Okay. Lighting and special effects.
I mean, they weren't amazing. But it was just it was lovely.
Well, you keep saying it was awful, but it was nice.
When did I say it was awful?
Well, what did you just say then?
It was lovely.
No, before then.
It wasn't amazing.
Okay, and I suppose we talked about Sound of Music really. There was only about 4 or 5 words, wasn't there?
There was very little speaking.
Very few words.
You know, some nice carol singing.
Yes, I like the carol singing, and it did get me in the festive spirit.
Good. There you go. Tick.
But I did have about 4 gin and tonics, I think.
So you were festive already.
It's already festive before we began. What did you like the best?
I liked. My favourite bit was where they went to the North Pole and they met Santa and the Snow People and they were all dancing around.
Me too, but it did drag, I think, as well.
Eking it out a little bit.
Eking it out a bit, you know.
Yeah, maybe.
And I don't know if cultural appropriation's got should be mentioned here. You know,
But they're basing it on the book.
Yeah. So is that okay?
Well, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not taking a stance
See
on it.
yourself. What didn't you like?
I didn't like when they were moving the set and we could hear it.
No. What did I not like?
It sounds like you didn't like much of it.
I will tell you what I really liked.
What was that?
Where all the fruits came out of the fridge.
Oh yeah, that was good.
What was it? A pineapple?
There's a pineapple, a
coconut.
banana, coconut. Is there another one?
Is
that it?
Yeah.
No, it's good.
Yeah, that was a good bit. And then they all did, what's it called when you've got the pole?
The
Not
North
pole
Pole?
dancing. The other one.
The-
Limbo.
Okay.
Oh, they did do it properly, I noticed.
No, they were
They
cheating.
were cheating, but we'll let them off. Okay, what was your stand-up moment?
Well, I believe I've said that already.
Oh, sorry, what was it again?
It was the bit where they went up to the North Pole and Father Christmas there, and they were dancing around with all the snow people.
Now, he was an unusual Father Christmas, wasn't he?
Quite sprightly.
Very sprightly. I liked his
Yeah.
little jig.
Yeah.
At the end, that's what I didn't like, actually. Didn't the end just keep going on and on and on?
It maybe went on a little bit longer than it needed to.
Okay, I've noticed that this has started creeping in theatre recently.
Well, no, it's not in all the plays.
Well, I
all
hope
things.
it's not in the next play I'll go to see, that's for sure.
Okay.
Alright. Anything else you want to say? I don't know
No,
if
I'm done, thanks.
it's kind of, for me, it was paper thin.
It is for kids.
But kids,
It's a different audience.
just because it's for kids doesn't mean it has to be paper thin, does it?
But it doesn't mean it needs to be...
Pantos are for kids, they're not paper thin.
Well, some of them really are.
Most of them really are, actually. I hate pantomimes. Alright, shall we take a break and then we'll come back and score it?
I think you need a break.
Alright, so, now you've ruined Christmas for me.
I've not ruined Christmas.
Yeah, you have by ruining your present.
What? I've not ruined it.
Well, you've ruined it. You told me you hadn't seen it, and now you've ruined it.
I didn't want to ruin the night.
So
But then
now-
I feel like I don't want to be dishonest.
Now you've ruined like a week.
I've not ruined anything. Get over it.
So let's talk about our audience antics. So it was only about a third full, wasn't it? Which we kind of talked about already.
Maybe a little bit more.
But the seats were good,
Yeah, we had a good view.
except behind us were 2 American children with their American mother and their American grandmother.
Is where they're from got anything to do with it? Columbo
No,
said no.
Not really, I
Columbo
suppose.
said no.
But I'm just trying to paint the picture for the audience, really.
Yeah. They were a bit annoying.
Why? How
Well, one of them, because there was no one sitting next to me, I had my coat on the chair, and one of them put his feet on my coat, which is all right. Apart from they really smell.
And he didn't wear any shoes or socks.
Didn't have any shoes or socks. And then they came down and stood next to us and were dancing. And when we went to leave, one of them pushed me. Which
that was, I think, my favourite stand-up moment.
when I got pushed by a child.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
All right. Okay. Shall we score this thing?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So, performances.
I'm going to go for a 6.
No, I've given it a 6.
Have you?
Yeah. Staging and technical, it gets a 4 from me,
I'm going for a 6.
even with that clunky gear change.
Yeah.
All right. Narrative and plot. Well, I'll give it a 5.
I'm going to give it a 7.
Oh. Originality.
I'm going to give it a 4.
Well, I'm going to give it a 3. Do you know why?
Because it's not original.
Well, the song Frosty the Snowman.
Okay.
Well, it's very similar to that.
Well, I think they've been doing the same production for many years, which is why I'm saying it's not
Yeah,
original.
and before Raymond Briggs wrote the book, there was a song called Frosty the
I
Snowman.
mean, there's been plenty of snowmen knocking around for a long time.
Name me 3 other snowmen.
Mr. Snowman,
From
Mrs.
what? From-
Snowman, and Snowman the Elder.
Choreography.
I'm going to go for a 6.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 7. Seeing as though that was supposed to be their specialty. Wasn't it? It was great.
Yeah.
Costume.
I'm going to go for a 6.
Yeah, 6 for me. Music, it gets a 7 just because of that bloody song.
Yeah, I thought the music was good. I'm going to go for an 8.
And was it worth it?
I'm going to say 7.
That's your Christmas present, you ungrateful swine.
What have you said?
6. Okay, so while I furiously add up these scores, would you kindly tell the listener what we're going to see next?
Well, I am genuinely quite excited about our next theatre trip. We are going to see A Christmas Carol at the Old Vic, which we wanted to go and see last year, but James booked tickets for it. Oh, but he didn't book tickets for it.
Don't distract me.
He booked tickets for Simon Callow's Christmas shindig.
And how did that work out for you?
It was wonderful. I loved it. But actually, I think that we've done well, because last year, Stephen Tompkinson was Scrooge. And this year, it's Joseph Patterson, who I'm much more excited about seeing. So, well, yeah, we're looking forward to that. Columbo,
I have to leave the room to get my calculator. Sorry, have you
He's
done?
back now. Yeah, I've done.
Alright, so, just do a bit of live maths.
Live math. James's brain is tick, 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 ticking. His mouth is twitch, 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 twitching. Nothing seems to be happening.
Oh, yes, it is.
Is it? Is it though?
Oh, it's worked as well.
Has it? Go on
Right.
then.
Okay, so it gets oh gosh, gets a 15-minute theatre star rating of 2.9.
Oh, that's bad.
It puts it below the wider earth.
Oh no.
Goodness me. Do you know what?
But I have to say, kids, great for kids, little small kids.
What, the wider earth?
No, the Snowman. Small kids who haven't been to the theatre before, I think it's a really nice, easy introduction into theatre, and it's a story they know, and it's magical.
It's expensive as well.
I think for adults, maybe not so enjoyable, but I would definitely take a little kid there.
Well, we didn't.
Yeah, but I did last time, and they loved it.
Well, there we go. Right, well, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas!
So it's my treat next time, is it?
Yes.
For Christmas?
It's your Christmas treat, yeah.
And you've just spoilt it by telling me what it is?
But you knew what it was
I knew
anyway.
what it was anyway. So, thankfully, that's the theatre bell.
Oh, thank God.
So, it means about time, Vicky, once again. So, thank you for listening. I've been James.
I've been Vicky.
And the curtain's down, the theatre's dark, and that was 15-minute theatre.
Good night.
If you're brave enough to have your theatre production reviewed, please contact us at 15minutetheatre@gmail.com. Find us on Twitter and please rate and review us on iTunes. Thanks for listening.